Picture a world without printed books. Now imagine in America, without Thomas Paine's Common Sense, Herman Melville's Moby Dick, and Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird. Some say the book is dead, others say it's dying. Most don't even think twice about it and just follow trends. This is the case of the ongoing war between printed books and e-books. Just for today, let's consider ourselves first grade children again for the sake of my explaining why this should be of importance to you. This is the single most important decade for books since the 1450s when the printing press first appeared. The following will make a strong case for why printed books are desperately needed and should be maintained. I'll be going over the central problems pertaining to losing them, the cause and effects, and lastly the solutions that provide hope. So first and foremost, I'll give you details relating to the premature yet potential funeral for printed books. Now, the paramount problem of losing printed books to e-books is that it will essentially bring about the death of the seminal material evidence of preserved history, narratives, the encasing of knowledge and experiences, etc. For centuries, printed books have proved to be the cornerstone of the effort to define, preserve, and expand culture. Now, William Germano's article, What Are Books Good For?, points out that, quote, in their function as record keepers, printed books transform the history into the present and the present into history. Gabriel Zaid's book, So Many Books, Reading and Publishing in an Age of Abundance, refers to the influence of printed books and that, quote, just a few thousand copies read by the right people can change the entire course of conversation, the boundaries of literature, and our intellectual lives. So in essence, by losing our personal library of printed books, we lose a part of ourselves and something that is essential to our lives. Full ownership comes only when you make when you make a book a part of yourselves, and this is done by interacting and engaging with it. You'll know a truly owned book because it'll be dog-eared, shaken, and loosened by continual use. Now, Lori, if I looked at your metaphorical e-book copy of To Kill a Mockingbird, I won't know whether you've read it once or 1,000 times. However, if you look at my physical copy, you'll know immediately because of the bent pages, the highlighted sections or words, the notes, the scribbles, the circles, the spine is loose, etc. You'll know because it shows the marks of age and use. Now, in addition, we also miss out on things that we once held close to us during our childhood years. Books can be touched, held, and smelled, particularly if they're old. Real books include a cover, a binding, a slipcover, the pages, the weight of the paper, and the feel of turning a page. All of these elements combine to make a book what it truly is. In Christopher Morley's novel, Parnassus on Wheels, one character remarks, when you sell a man a book, you don't just sell him 12 ounces of ink, paper, and glue. You sell him a whole new life, love and friendship and humor, and ships at sea by night. There's all heaven and earth in a book, a real book, I mean. Moreover, it's important to understand how we got ourselves into this predicament and what effects are among us today. The how and the why are vital, but not necessarily the key factors to consider. In this case, the effects define the causes. Ever since the atomic bomb came to fruition, we've been on an ascending arch, which, while seeming to be perpetual, has led to many becoming obsessed with keeping up with progress. Now, youths find it trendy to keep themselves in the loop when it comes to the latest, hippest devices. The resilient impatience of modern-day people, particularly teenagers and 20-somethings, is particularly the most obvious and unfortunate of all causes. In his article, Why eBooks Are Better Than Printed Books, Michael Angier states that it's simply more easy because they're portable, take up less space, and they allow references to be hot-linked. But such minor conveniences aren't worth it. This is because reading is a part of us since our childhoods, or perhaps even being read to before we were even born. Now, in Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird, the character Scout likens reading to breathing. Until I feared I would lose it, I never loved to read. One does not love breathing. People don't. They just instinctively know it, and they do it. Now, ebooks signal after a 550-year union, reading and printing are getting separated. This tells us that printed books will join the likes of newspapers and magazines on the road to obsolescence. Despite this, new technologies are always becoming new and obsolete, and more expensive models are continually brought into the equation. In turn, money's wasted, and the cycle repeats itself. So, with all this in mind, we arrive at the tiny glimmer of hope that lies in big and small, simple solutions. Current and future generations should maintain an interest in purchasing both new and used hardcover and paperback books, and there are numerous ways to do your part and major advantages in doing so. Now, the most important thing is to simply take initiative. Go to a bookstore or a library and pick up a book, novel or not, one that interests you, that's been recommended, that you've been dying to read for years but never got around to. Simply pick up a book every now and then. Remember, we have a library literally next door to us. Now, you can also lend or donate books to friends with children, or foundations involving children. The best is the Bridge of Books Foundation, which is fully dedicated to putting new and used books into the hands of children who desperately need them most. Professor Steve Ackery, who teaches literature courses here at COD, says this is essential for children for building memories with the feel and wonder of printed books. Gabriel's Aid observes costs and states that millions of readers can afford to buy great collections of great books. Think about how many worthwhile books you can buy for the price of the cheapest iPad, which last I checked ran around $500, particularly if they're used books. Now, basically, with this in mind, by picking up books, you're helping to preserve printed books and all that they're capable of. Emily Dickinson's poem, There Is No Frigid Like a Book, and a frigid refers to a ship, emphasizes on the power a book has in just 4 simple lines. There is no frigid like a book to take us lands away, nor any coursers like a page of prancing poetry. Now, can you honestly imagine reading to your children with one of these devices? Because if so, chances are your child will become more familiar with carpal tunnel than anything else. But seriously, there are no physical pages for them to change. So, having gone over the problems, the cause effects, and the solutions, all that's left to be said is that we are the case for printed books. Remember, computer technology is constantly in flux. Books are forever. As Christy Tennant eloquently put it, take to heart that you cannot judge an ebook by its cover. It doesn't have one. Thank you.